Excuse me. Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Blue Jackets. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed podcast. My name is Kevin, and joining me tonight is my co-host Hefty Duck. And as always, we always invite other people to come on the show. Whether if they do or don't, that's a different story. There's always next time. Anyways, we got a lot of stuff to talk about in the Blue Jackets world. We have some games to talk about. 4 games since our last show, and the Blue Jackets took 2 out of 4. They should have won in Edmonton, and they made some really dumb mistakes that cost them that game, and they lost that one, which is really stupid, but oh well. And then they went to Seattle and beat them 2-1 in a shootout, and then they beat the Oilers in Columbus 5-4. And, they lost to the Rangers in a shootout. Some good moments in all those games, and we're going to talk about that. Some hockey jersey concepts to share. I got a tweet that I got some good reviews, so we're gonna share that, and so much more. So, welcome to the show, everyone. Let's get going.
Hell yeah. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you had a good week. It's getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving time. It's getting busier and busier and busier. So keep tuned to see when we will be back here, like in the next episodes. We try to do it regularly, on Sundays at 7. But the holidays are coming up. Weird stuff can happen. Just stay tuned for that. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, wherever you're watching from. If you're watching from YouTube or Twitter, we don't have any sponsors at the moment. We do this for fun, not for money. So we anything. The best way to support us, the freest thing you can do, is give us a like, a follow. We would very much appreciate it. You can also find me on Twitter at Lance Rock, just my name. It's got a C in it. All right, don't forget that because everyone does. Check out my Instagram, all that fun stuff too. Lance Rock Tattoos. Anyway, on to the show. Like Kevin said, we got quite a few things to talk about, but
Yes.
What would you like to talk about first?
As we always do, we don't give the goods right away. You got to watch a little bit before we give the goods away, and the good reviews, because that's what people want to know about. But so you got to stay here for a little bit. So we're going to start off with this. So we'll back this up here. So Legend Bay is a high school football player that committed to go play football at Ohio State. And he posted this graphic to show that he is indeed coming to Ohio State to play football. And it's awesome. And the reason why I like this is that, let's see if I can zoom in on this, is, as you can see, this summarizes Columbus perfectly, because if you look at it, you have, obviously, there's the shoe, so that's cool, and then there's downtown Columbus, that's cool, and then you have like the Ohio State football facility in Buckeye Grove, and there's the Arnold statue. You got North Market, and you got the Crew, and you got the Clippers are here, and the Blue Jackets are here, and you got all this stuff that makes Columbus Columbus. And when I saw this, I thought this was awesome, and this is truly a cool graphic, a cool way to say that you're coming to Ohio State to play football. This was just a perfect way to show off Columbus, because it shows everything that Columbus is about, from the Blue Jackets to the Crew to the Clippers to Ohio State to North Market and so much more.
Yeah, that's sick. I like that a lot. I just like that it has a lot of Ohio State things in it, but it also has a lot of Columbus things in it.
Yeah.
Uh, we talk all the time about how much we actually just like the city itself of Columbus. Uh, it's not just the Blue Jackets we like. I can't say the same about every other city of teams I like, but yeah, big fan of this. Just kind of love seeing the little advertisement. Who posted this?
So this is a guy. This is we have. Okay, so Legend Bay. He's a high school football player that's going to Ohio State.
Oh, okay, so he's the one who actually posted it. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So
That's pretty neat.
he's going to Ohio State, and he posted this cool graphic to say that, yeah, I'm coming to Ohio State.
He's done a little research, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine, I never went to college in Columbus, but I can imagine that Columbus would be a really fun place to go to college as well as, being renowned for its football program, of course.
No,
Pretty neat.
you're right, though, Hefty Duck, because you think about it. You think about it. If you're a guy that you're good at football, and if you're good at football, you have all the schools in the world that want you to come to their school and play for them. You're gonna have the best of the best come at you. Pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. And that's cool. But there's more to life than just going to school and playing football. You're going to want to have something to do there besides that. You're going to have some free time. And for many of these places, I don't mean in a disrespectful way, but the truth is, you're just a college town. That's the only thing to do in that town. That's it. Place like Alabama, that's what they have. It's Alabama. I've been to where Alabama is. It's in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And the big thing there is Alabama. That's it. It's
Bam.
Alabama. Michigan. They're in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And from a sports perspective, what else are you going to do there besides Michigan? Nothing. There are so many of these places all over America where it's like, that's all you have. You're just a college town. And that's fine, but that can only take you so far. But Columbus, guess what? Not only are you coming to Ohio State to play football, and you're coming to Ohio State to do school, but you can do so much more than that. You can. It's like, hey, I want to see a soccer game. Okay, Crew. I want to see a baseball game. Okay, the Clippers. I want to see a hockey game. Okay, Blue Jackets. I want to do this, do that. Okay, well, here's German Village. Here's Short North. Here's the Columbus Zoo. Here's this, here's that. You have so much that you can do here that it's not just a college town. It's so much more. So I have no doubts that Ohio State is using that to their advantage by saying, hey, now if you come to Ohio State, not only are you going to a good school, not only are you going to a good football school where you're consistently good and you're being developed correctly and getting ready for the NFL, but you have a lot of stuff to do compared to other places. And I've seen this before where Ohio State has worked with the Blue Jackets and sent some of their guys to work for the Blue Jackets for like internships. And there's a bunch of other stuff where it's like Ohio State has done stuff with the Blue Jackets. So like I have no doubts that Ohio State has used all the stuff that you can do in Columbus to their advantage when trying to get people to come.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And the more you dig in Columbus, the more you'll find as well. I've heard it said that Columbus may not be known for anything like like a specific fancy restaurant, like a big foodie town or a big whatever. Other than obviously, now it's a hockey town, but now it's also Ohio State is there. But I've heard it said that Columbus has at least one of everything. Maybe
Yes.
not more, but it has at least one of everything.
Yes.
And I truly believe that. The more time I spend there, the more time I kind of like it.
And
Well, that's pretty neat.
and
Hopefully
what
that dude works out well
yeah.
for them.
Yeah. Best of luck to you. But what you said there that Columbus probably has one of everything that yeah, because I believe that because I've been coming to Columbus since 2009 and it just seems like you want something, it's there. And every time I'm there, it just seems like there's a new building that pops up, a new business
Yeah.
that just a new building that pops up like, oh, I don't remember that the last time I was there. Oh, that's cool. Something new is popping up. Columbus is really becoming one of those booming up and coming cities that people want to go to. And I even remember reading an article in the Columbus Dispatch years ago, basically saying that not only is Columbus a big, booming, up and coming city, but it's also getting a lot of Middle Eastern people. So their Middle Eastern population is growing. And then you also have even some people from like Canada moving down to Columbus. So like they're getting everything. And it's great to see because when I tell my family and friends, oh, I'm going to Columbus for the Blue Jackets and this and that, and they're like, Kevin, why do you go to Columbus? And then I tell them because of the Blue Jackets and the Crew and the Clippers and a whole bunch of Ohio State and a bunch of other stuff. But then I bring them to Columbus and they love it. And they're like, Kevin, when are you going back to Columbus? I want to go back. I want to go back. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to our bar. I want to see the Blue Jackets play again. And then like, oh, we're going back then. Like, okay, we're coming with because it's just that good. My Wisconsin family is a perfect example of this. My Aunt Karen, she's always wanted to come to Columbus, but she just hasn't been able to make it work with her schedule. And then in October 2023, she was finally able to make it work. And then her and her husband, which would be my uncle Chris, they came down to Columbus for the Blue Jackets game and a whole bunch of other stuff, and they loved it. And my Aunt Karen, she keeps telling me like, man, I had such a fun time in Columbus, and I can't wait to go back. October 2026, I'm going back. I'm coming back to Columbus because I want to see the Blue Jackets play. I want to do this. I want to do that because Columbus, it's just that good.
Yeah, I can't say it enough. People probably hear me say this all the time too about the legit how much safer I feel. I mean, there's crime in every city, but generally speaking, especially like near the arena district, it just feels nice. But
that's true. So, all right, on to
before
now. Right. So this continues on with what we're talking about. So, this is the thing with Twitter is that the tweets that you put a lot of effort into it and you think are going to do good don't, and they get like 1 or 2 likes, and then the tweets where you don't think much of, you don't think they're going to do well, those are the ones that do well. And then you wait, and then you wake up the next day and you check Twitter and you're like, wait, what? That tweet did that good? Really? Huh? Okay, I'll take it. You take it for what it is, and you're like, okay, thanks. You didn't think they'd do that good, but they did. And this tweet right here is one of those times where you think you don't put much thought into it. You don't think it's going to do that very well, but it did. And what is the tweet? So originally, Richard O, or at Rich Saluki on Twitter, says, let's see here. We'll back this up here. Oh, I responded to this tweet that said, I enjoy this team and the city too much to keep getting aggravated. I said, hell yeah, love Columbus, Blue Jackets, Ohio State Crew, Clippers, R Bar, North Market, Short North, German Village, the Columbus Zoo, etc. Columbus is the place to be. And he said, being an Indy, Carmel, actually, so he's an Indiana resident. I'm super impressed with Columbus, especially the Arena District. Lucas Oil, where the Colts play, is a PITA, so I'm just going to assume that says pain in the ass to
Pain in the ass, yeah.
okay, to navigate around for parking. Not an NBA fan, so the Pacers are irrelevant to me. The 360 round trip I make for about 35 of the 42 games is worth it. And I said to that, Columbus is very fortunate to have something like the Arena District, Blue Jackets, Crew, Clippers, bars, restaurants, stores, hotels, etc. All right there. So good that other teams have come to Columbus to get inspiration for their own version of an Arena District. Not every team can say that they have something like the Arena District, but the Blue Jackets can say that they have the Arena District. And this did well. This had over 20,000 views, 8 responses, 6 retweets, 143 likes, and 4 bookmarks. So that's cool. Again, I wasn't thinking this tweet was going to do that good, but it did. So I'm just throwing this one out there that we had a good tweet. And you know, if you want to see more, check out our Twitter page. You may see another one. So just
It is
backing
where we're
up.
the most active.
Yeah. So just backing about what we've been saying so far on the show that, yeah, Columbus is the place to be, especially downtown Columbus.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, we were literally just saying that. It led really well into it. Talking about that dude coming to Ohio State. So pretty neat.
Let's see here. There's one. Okay, so true. It's a great idea and love how it sits on the entrance to the fun part of High Street. This one right here, I really like this one. I think of my time at OSU and what Columbus was like when I started in autumn 96, finished my MS in early 02, Arena District, Polaris, and Easton. Columbus rode those developments very well. And he's right, because we've talked about this on the show, but you have to think about it is if you think about there's Columbus before the Blue Jackets, there's Columbus after the Blue Jackets. And before the Blue Jackets, we have to be honest with ourselves. An outsider perspective, Columbus is a cow town image. It's like, ooh, Columbus. What's that? I don't know what that is. Why would you go there? If you were going to Ohio, you were picking Cincinnati or Cleveland. And that's just how it was. But along come the Blue Jackets, and it transforms Columbus for the better to where you have so much stuff to do now where everything is coming to Columbus. All the big name sporting events are coming to Columbus. All the big name, conventions from anime to comic books to, cheerleading to bodybuilding, all coming to Columbus. Anytime there's a big time political event that's in Ohio, they're coming to Columbus now. The Blue Jackets really walked so others could run. They are that important to the development of Columbus. So I really like this tweet here because at Sean of Nowhere is right. Before the Blue Jackets, it was Ohio State and that was it. And it was just kind of there. But after the Blue Jackets, Columbus just exploded. So much potential, so much growth and positive energy has happened because of the Blue Jackets coming to Columbus. And now, if you're coming to Ohio, Columbus is the place to be.
Hell yeah.
And then
It's
one
not that it
more.
was like a piece of
Yeah,
shit before, but like it's just it added so much too. And then the crew getting bigger is also nice, and
yep,
having that so close to the arena district and everything. I mean, that's part of why it's called the arena district because
yep.
there's one just down the street too.
Well, last thing I'll share with this, and then we'll move on to something else. But I really like this response too. Says from a Pittsburgh fan, he says, I love my Pens, but the area around an otherwise beautiful PPG arena is barren. The parking sucks and is expensive AF and is a pain in the ass to get out. Uh, to get out of. I love my grid city here in 614 in that respect. The district is tops. Penn's games greater than Penn's games here greater than Penn's home games. And that is the truth. I have heard so many things like that, not just from Pittsburgh fans, but just people in general that come to Columbus to watch a game, whether they're cheering for their team or they're coming to Columbus to see the Blue Jackets play. This little sentiment here, I've heard something exactly like this, where it's like, man, this is so much better compared to where I live. I wish that they had something like this. So for this guy right here to basically say that, yeah, Columbus has it better than Pittsburgh and the whole arena slash district, setup around the arena. Yeah, I agree and I get it. So many people have said a comment similar just to like he has, how just Columbus has it better compared to other teams, and they wish that their team had something like what the Blue Jackets have.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been through Pittsburgh multiple times. It is a really cool city. They have a lot of nice shows there, a lot of nice concerts. It's not that far away from where I live. It's like a tiny bit farther than Columbus is from where I live.
Yeah.
But nice city, but it's a pain in the ass, like he says, to get around there. Columbus is like a really easy city to get around in. Did you know it's actually the largest metropolitan area in the United States that doesn't have any sort of train system?
Okay.
I mean, it's a little bit late to try to put one in unless you want to do like a above ground monorail everywhere or something crazy. But
They do.
They got public transportation still, and
They
that does
do have some trains down there, but that's like transport, moving stuff.
right, not like in through the city, yeah, for like passengers to go from block to block or whatever. But despite that, it's pretty cool.
It is. So there's there's that. So we'll move on from this, and this is one more just for kind of like shits and giggles, and then we'll get on to the more serious stuff here. So I saw this on Twitter from the Terran Bland, and the caption says, "At a wedding in Florida, and there's a Skyline chili bar."
Hell yeah.
And I saw that, and you know what? I love that. It's like,
That's amazing.
It's amazing. That's like, hell yeah. And you know what? I believe it because you know what? There is a Skyline. There's Skyline Chili's down in Florida. I know that because I've been to them, and every time I'm in Florida, I make sure to go to one of those Skyline Chili's down there and get some Skyline chili. And I was just in Florida last week, and I went to that Skyline Chili down in Naples, Florida, and I got some Skyline chili, and it was awesome. And I have a Blue Jackets pennant there that I gave them, and every time I go there, the Blue Jackets pennant is still up on the wall. So you know what? I just love it that that this guy, he was at a wedding down in Florida, but you know what? There's still a little Ohio down in Florida. And
there's a huge connection between Florida and Ohio. I mean, I lived down there for a few years myself. I know tons of people from the area I live in that live down there now. It's a good time. It's better than winter up here.
Yeah. there's too many. I'm sorry. There's too many people down there. It just, for my liking, I'm just going to say it. There were so many people. I remember for years going down to Florida. There was people there, but it wasn't crazy. It was like a hidden gem. And then people found out about Florida, and then everyone went down there. And now it's just people are everywhere, and the traffic sucks, and it's just too crazy. And it's like, where did all these people come from? Let's just settle down here. Yeah. But that's besides the point. But one last thing I'll say is Hefty Duck is right. I've been in Florida, and I've worn like Ohio State stuff or like Blue Jacket stuff down in Florida, and people are like, "Hey, Ohio State, go Bucks!"
Oh, yell OH.
Or they'll yell OH.
Yeah.
OH. You yell IO, or it'll be like, or I wear Blue Jacket and stuff, and like, "Hey, Blue Jackets, CBJ," and I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." There's some truth to that. There is some Ohio down in Florida. It's people who are from Ohio but now live in Florida, or people who are from Ohio but are visiting Florida. There's some truth to that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
But anyways, so that was cool that this guy, he's at a wedding down in Florida, and even down in Florida, he can get Skyline Chili at a wedding in Florida. All right. Anyways, we made you wait long enough. On to the most important part of the show. We talk about the games that have been played. Starting out with the Blue Jackets in Edmonton. And that was going to be an 8 out of 10 game for me. It really was. Because for 90% of that game, the Blue Jackets were playing a real good game. Awesome game. They're playing good defense. They got 4 goals. They were controlling the pace. They were not really giving the Oilers much to shoot at. And Connor McDavid, for the most part, really wasn't a problem. Anytime he had the puck, the Blue Jackets were on him.
And for that first part of the game.
For that first part of the game, they were on him, and they didn't really give him a chance to do anything. And there's a really awesome goal there where it's a 4 and see Connor McDavid, he had some dumb brain farts in this game that were just really stupid. Like the Oilers they're going to get a power play, and he does a stupid holding the stick call. And then that leads, and you're looking at it like, what are you doing there? And it's not, and it was very blatant too. Like you could see it, like he was holding the stick, and it's like, you didn't need to do that. Your team was getting the power play. You didn't need to do that, but you did. That led to a 4-on-4, which the Blue Jackets scored on. And it was one of the best goals that they've scored all season long, which it's 4-on-4. The Oilers have the puck in their defensive zone. They try getting that out. It's a bad turnover. And then it goes to Marchenko, and Marchenko looks like he's going to shoot it, but then at the last moment, quickly passes it to Adam Fantilli. Adam Fantilli, one-timer, shoots and scores, blows it past the goal. He had no chance. It was awesome. And then after that moment, it was just basically really, really poop. It went down the toilet after that, essentially, because for whatever reason, the Blue Jackets just decided to just stop playing. And again, we've seen this every show, all season long so far. When the Blue Jackets lose a game, unfortunately, it's because they're playing a pretty good game 9 times out of 10. And there's that one time where you have a dumb mistake, a dumb brain fart moment, and it costs you the game. This game, unfortunately, there was like multiple brain farts that cost the Blue Jackets the game. Just stupid. So you were doing so good on Connor McDavid. He's the type of guy that, yes, he's a good player. He's going to get his chances to score. But how you limit that is that as soon as he gets the puck, you get on his ass right away. You get on him, and you do not let him get any momentum. Do not give him any time and space. Because if you give him any time and space, he's too fast. He's going to blow right past you, and he's probably going to score. And that's what happened. All game long, you were doing pretty good. You were right on him. You didn't give him anything to shoot at. You didn't give him that chance. But then the moment that you didn't do that and you slipped up, you had a brain fart moment, and you didn't get right on him, he blows right past the Blue Jackets defense. He shoots and scores. And then he did it again on the second one, where again, you didn't get right on him and you didn't challenge him, and he blows past the Blue Jackets defense. He shoots and scores. And then the worst of the worst brain farts I've ever seen watching the Blue Jackets play. And I've been watching the Blue Jackets since 2009. So this one's bad. Is that you get a gimme. You get a golden opportunity to score, to essentially put the game away. It's over, just over 2 minutes. You're up a goal, 4-3. And the Oilers pull the goalie. And shortly after that, the Oilers get called for a penalty. So you go on the power play. And it was the penalty gets called at 2 minutes, 18 seconds. So that even if you don't score on that power play, more likely than not, the Oilers lose. So one of two things. You either just, if you score on the power play, that's good. It's now a 5-3 game, and you're winning that game more likely than not. Even if you don't score and you put some chances on the goalie and you don't get it, you still probably win because you're running out the clock and it gets to 18 seconds and Oilers probably are not coming back from that. They're not winning that. So this is one of those things where this is basically a guaranteed win. It didn't happen like that because the Blue Jackets made one of the most stupidest mistakes I've ever seen. So ridiculously stupid. And what it was this is the Blue Jackets, they have some chances. They don't get it. The Oilers clear it out. And just like every other power play that you see in your life watching hockey, okay, you had some chances to score, but you didn't get it. The puck gets cleared. What do? You go get the puck, and then you put it back into the offensive zone, and you try and score. The Blue Jackets didn't do that. Instead, the puck gets cleared, the Blue Jackets go get the puck, and then for whatever reason, I don't know why they were doing this, but they just decided to get cute and play footsie with the puck. Instead of just, okay, go get the puck and put that sucker back in the offensive zone and shoot. You didn't do that. You got way too cute. You played footsie with it. And what happens? The puck gets picked off and the Oilers shoot and score. And now it's tied at 4. Disgusting. Awful. What should have been basically a gimme, a win, basically, you pissed that away because a dumb, stupid brain fart. Why? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Just stupid. It didn't have to be like that. But unfortunately, it was like that. And then, dumbass brain fart moment, you get scored on when you shouldn't have got scored on. And then you don't score on the power play, so it gets killed off. And then it goes to overtime. And then you lose in overtime because of a stupid line change. It just, that game disgusted me so much. And you know what? I'm the type of a guy that I watch the Blue Jackets play, and if they lose, I hate it. It sucks. I'm pissed. But the next day, I move on with it. It's like, they lost. That sucks. Okay, whatever. Or it's the same thing if they win. Like, if Like the day of a Blue Jackets game, if I watch them and they win, I'm feeling great. Like, yeah, let's go. Blue Jackets win, everyone. Let's party. But then the next day, it's like, okay, yeah, they won. That's cool. That's cool. All right, moving on with life. But for that game, I was just so grossed out and just so upset and just disgusted by it that even the next day, it brought me down so hard because it's like, damn it, they had that one there, and because of stupid brain fart moments and dumbass plays, you piss that one away. Just disgusting, unacceptable, just dumb. And that's why it goes from an 8 out of 10 game to a 5 out of 10 game. And I know I'm kind of going on a long rant here, but that's just how I feel. You played pretty good there, but then dumbass brain fart moments, you pissed it away, and just stupid 5 out of 10 game. I'm done talking for now. We'll get Hefty Duck in here.
So, yeah, I gotta agree with you. That was piss poor. That third period was some of just awful hockey. It sucked. Jackets come out great in the first period. They're the first to score, and very oftentimes that first team to score gives them the momentum to build on the rest of the game. Not too much longer later, it was like 6 minutes later, the guy who would end up scoring the game-winning goal, the game-tying goal, scored his first of the night. And in many of these situations that we see, I'm going to sound like a parrot, and I'm going to be repeating some stuff I said last week. I'll be repeating some stuff I said the week before that, and repeating some things I said the week before that. So it's like I'm kind of getting tired of feeling like I'm just, ugh. And it's the thing is too. So there's a comment. I'll talk about this real quick before I continue on here. Doomslayer Dave from YouTube. What's up, man? Says, what's the situation with Elvis? You think? Honestly, I don't think it's any sort of issue. If you remember last year, there were times where Elvis needed a break due to feeling ill, and there's been a sickness that's been going around the room in the Blue Jackets camp. So that's been talked about. That's been opined about that. So I'm not thinking that like, oh, it's always going to be Jet Greaves just because of a certain play style. Elvis is still a number one type goaltender. Jet Greaves is kind of too. So I don't think that there's anyone that's being like the goaltender one, goaltender two. I feel it's a true tandem.
Yeah.
Very much so. And the thing is too, when Elvis does feel ill or something, I live with IBD, so there are sometimes some days that can take me out, and that could really affect me if I had to play a professional sport and I had something like that going on. Who knows what it is? Who knows what? That's a bit besides the point, but even still, there is someone there that can step in. Daniil Tarasov was good, but he just wasn't that guy. He was he was not a true number one goaltender when he was with Columbus. So not that he's a bad player or anything like that. I do think that it's just that the Blue Jackets have a good enough goaltender to also play them a lot too.
Yeah.
I think that they're both doing pretty great this year. I can't complain too much about it. A lot of the goals that happened on Greaves in this last game against the Oilers, the one I'll talk about that here in a bit. I'll get Kevin's opinion on this because we'll go back to the game for a sec.
So I'll just say this way. I think doing the goalie rotation that the Blue Jackets have been doing, where Jet Greaves plays one game and Elvis Merzlikins plays another game, that has been beneficial to the Blue Jackets and both Jet Greaves and Elvis Merzlikins because they're keeping them more fresh. You could see it is making a difference because there's been times where the Blue Jackets have played a goalie through in their existence where, Sergei Bobrovsky plays like 10 games in a row, and he's been a good goalie, and this isn't to say that he hasn't earned those 10 games in a row. He has. but at the same time, they're in a position where they really couldn't count on anyone, so they had to play Sergei Bobrovsky 10 games in a row. They've had to do that with Elvis Merzlikins for the last couple of seasons here, where they Elvis Merzlikins shown he can be good, but at the same time, he's the only guy that they could count on, where they couldn't really play the other guys as much. But now, both Elvis Merzlikins and Jet Greaves are good. Like, you can count on them. You can do every other game where you can switch them up and you can count on them. And that's keeping them fresher. And I think that's why they're better. And also, I think that's why, I'm okay with Jet Greaves playing, 4 straight games now, because you know what? He has it, that little goalie rotation that's kept him fresh. He's not as tired. And that is going to be beneficial towards the Blue Jackets as the season goes on, because you're not playing these goalies as much. They're going to be fresher and they're going to be better. And I think there is something to it that, there's a lot of, sickness going around the Blue Jackets, and that probably has something to do with it, and why maybe Elvis Merzlikins is or is not playing. There's that. And, Jet Greaves, he's played good, so I can see why they think, okay, well, he's played good, let's give him more starts. So I think there's that too. So I know some people are making a bigger issue out of this because, oh, no, Elvis this or Elvis that. I don't think that's the thing. You're making it a bigger issue than it actually is. It just so happens this is just how it's worked out so far, because the thing is good as Jet Greaves has been these last 4 games, he has been good. You just can't keep doing that. You are going to have to give him a rest. And if I had to take a guess, they have a back-to-back coming up this upcoming Monday and Tuesday night. So you're going to need Elvis there for one of those games. So that's probably when he's going to play next.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, that was just our thoughts on a question asked here by Doomslayer Dave. If you two would like to derail the show a little bit and ask us something, feel free to leave a comment on YouTube or Twitter. We welcome it. Absolutely. I love talking about almost whatever anyone asks about. Sometimes I'll kind of, if you're mean to us, I'll probably just be a dick back to you. I don't know. Maybe we'll show it. If it's funny, we'll show it. If you're mean and funny, we'll show it for sure. Anyway, back to the game real quick. I got a couple little color commentary things for you. So second period, really good period. Overall, the Jackets killed that one period off from Dmitry Voronkov holding, and they score 2, and none gets scored against them. And then comes the third period.
Yeah.
And this is where things start to fall apart. Like Kevin was saying earlier, they were on McDavid very well for the majority of the game, but not for all of the game. And it's 60 minutes, not 40. And this next sequence of goals from Edmonton is abysmal for the Blue Jackets. You cannot, Kevin said it like multiple times. I'm going to say it one more time too. You cannot let Connor McDavid have any space or time with the puck at all. Take a penalty. Take him out. I don't try to hurt the guy, but take him out if you have to. Because what happens is when you turn it over and he gets the pass with the puck, and there is 15 feet of ice in front of him, he's just going to burn you every time. And poor Denton Mateychuk, he is going to be in one of the sickest clips of all time as a defenseman, literally falling on his ass. That's unfortunate. He probably just caught an edge or something. The game's played on ice. It's going to happen. But man, I do have to, just for a second, I really admire the goal by McDavid. That was impressive. It was spinorama backhand up into the top left corner of the goal. That was an insane shot. That was so unexpected. But Connor McDavid, you have to expect that. You have to expect that he could do something you've never seen before. You have to expect that he could, all the videotapes, all the tape you watched on him, all the things you learned, just not going to matter that game. So, done lecturing. But, great goal then by Fantilli from Marchenko. That was awesome. The second goal by Connor McDavid, once again, You think you're not giving him that much space? You can't give him an inch. He just outsped the defense there. Just cut right in front of the goal with an incredible amount of speed. Absolutely unreal player. You can't. And at one point, I did notice that in this period. So normally we talked about this a little randomly last week, a little bit. We were talking about the Marchenko Voronkov duo. They rarely play McDavid with Draisaitl because they're both such big powerhouses. They have them split on two lines to give both those lines a bit more of a boost, so they have like two almost top lines.
Yeah.
But if you see them out there together, that is mission critical time. That is, you got to go with the biggest guns you got and give it everything. That's a nuclear option that they're running.
Yeah.
And we saw that in this game. And generally the Edmonton Oilers have been a pretty damn good team, for the last few years, because you don't get the finals by accident. And yeah, he just took a mile when you gave him a slight inch. And then the last one, that's just embarrassing. Embarrassing. I've said this so many times. I'm such a broken record. I'll say it a million times more. I'll say it again later this episode because we have more games to talk about that are so much like this. They're not. When the Blue Jackets have a 5-on-4 situation, it does not feel like 5-on-4. It barely even feel like 4-on-4 sometimes. This shorthanded goal is a bit of an example of that. The Blue Jackets have been caught on their heels. When their style works, it works very well, and they can score so many goals.
Yep.
But when you're making sloppy passes, when you're trying to flip it up like a lob to go for a line change or something like that, and you don't even get it past the center ice, and in fact, you just gave it right to the other team while the part of your team is heading towards the bench. And so then where they take the puck, they take it away from the bench, they go around you and they score. Brain parts from great players. And then, as proud of the man as I was and am, it really, really burned to see Roslovic score the game-winning goal on Columbus. That was also, once again, horrible timing. I kind of could tell what was going on. Now, it was bad timing for Marchenko to go get off. So Werenski and oh shit, I don't remember who he was with now. Hold on. Coyle. Werenski and Coyle were racing up into the offensive zone at the goaltender. And Werenski passes it to Coyle. Coyle is like on the right. He shoots it. Now, the goaltender, it deflected out of his glove, and Edmonton was immediately able to pick up the puck. If they would have waited a little bit longer for that shot, if they would have realized Marchenko was going off, maybe they would have held on a little bit longer, because deflections are rough. A deflection could be an instant counterattack, and that's exactly what happened. So Werenski passed it, and he goes behind the goal to possibly pick up like any straggling shot that might come out, thinking also he's going to get on the other side from the guy is coming on from the bench, and that guy on the bench will be on that side, and it'll be good. No, because they left the Marchenko when he was leaving the ice. Roslovic was still coming back, and he was at like the center ice line. They just stretched past it, and he got a solid breakaway. And I'm sure that at like some sort of camps, maybe him and Greaves would have seen each other at some point, but they never really played together. So it's not like, if he's going up against Merzlikins, there's a little bit more of like I've played against this guy, I kind of know his habits type thing. But that's just not the case with Greaves at all. And not that it would have mattered. It was a great shot, but damn. Poor. And let's just bump right on into the next game, because I don't have really much else to say about that game. Kevin gave it a 5 out of 10. I'm really struggling to give it more than a 3, because the second periods I will give you a 8, 9 out of 10.
Yes.
The third period is a 1, and that's what brings it down so far for me. That was just like literally all you had to do was just play keep away for like not even 2 minutes. You could have just play keep away. Just literally pass it. Pass it well to a stick, to a player, and not to the wall or the middle of the ice. Pass it well. Keep it away. Just keep it away. You don't have to score. And you just couldn't. It just brain farts. It's just bad launching, bad whatever. So anyway, on to Seattle. And Kevin's going to kick this one off here too, because this was, a better game in my opinion.
Yeah. So there's a much better game. Blue Jackets win this one 2-1 in a shootout. And I need to be honest with myself, is that when they won this game, I felt better. Like, okay, they won. Okay, I feel good. But then I damn it. They should have won yesterday. This should have been 2 out of 2. Like, that's just how bad that game against the Oilers ended. It's like, should have had 2 out of 2 on the back-to-back. But you only got 1 out of 2. But that's besides the point. But Seattle is one of the better defensive teams in hockey. They really don't give you much to shoot at. So it's one of those types of games when you're playing a team that plays good defense and doesn't give you really a lot to shoot at, that you have to be patient. And when they do give you something to shoot at, you have to shoot it, because you're not going to get that again, because that's just how good they play defense. It's also those types of teams where they play real good defense and don't give you nothing to shoot at, that one of the worst things that you can do is feed into it by like a counterattack, because they want you to do that. They want you to put it places where it's not there, because then what happens is you're going like this straight ahead. They pick it off. They go the other way and you're out of position. It's like a quick counterattack. So like, you can't do that. You can't do that. And when you have a chance to shoot it, you need to shoot it. Because if you don't get it, you don't do it, you're not getting that chance again. Just to how good teams like that play good defense. And that's what it was. Until the Blue Jackets, they get a 5-on-3. And Adam Fantilli gets the goal because it was good puck movement. And they just kept pucks on that. Shoot, 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 shoot. They didn't get it on the first one or the second one, but they got it on the third one to Adam Fantilli, because shooting, good puck movement, putting pressure on the goalie and the defense, and then eventually it gets to Adam Fantilli. He shoots and scores. Good goal there. And then from that point on, the Blue Jackets, they didn't have any goals until the shootout, but from that point on, they really took control of that game, because there was nothing from Seattle after that. Blue Jackets had the chances. This could have been a game a lot more than just 2-1. This could have been 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, that kind of game. But it's a credit to Seattle's defense for blocking shots and their goalie keeping them in the game. But in the end, it goes to a shootout. And the Blue Jackets, are, pretty good at shootouts in the last season or so. Last season they went 5-1. This season they're 1-1, but they started out they were on a heater when it comes to shootouts, because going back to last season, they were from last season up until now, they were a combined 8-1 in shootouts. Just really good in shootouts. So in the shootout, you need to get it done. This is it, now or never. You need your goalies to make big saves, and you need your guys who can shoot the puck to put the puck in the net. And they get a big goal from Kirill Marchenko, and they get a big goal from Charlie Coyle to win it in the shootout. And minor nitpick, Jet Greaves gives up a goal there. So, not good. But, the first period kind of started out sloppy for the Blue Jackets. But other than that, and giving up the goal and the shootout goal they gave up, those are really the only 3 things that you can pick on that game. That's it. So other than that, it was a pretty good game that the Blue Jackets played. much better, much smarter defensively, no stupid ass brain farts. So it was a pretty good game that the Blue Jackets played there. That was a 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, it was much better. Even the goal that was scored by Seattle at first, that it was a solid play. The defense was there, cutting off the shot available to Seattle, and he did a backhand pass, slightly up towards like the center ice of like between the dots, and ripped it home. Dude, just Ryan Winterton ripped it home. It was a great shot. I can't be too mad about that. It was decent. But then the Blue Jackets capitalized on the power play. Holy shit. I remember when I was watching this, I was like, finally! God! It just, finally. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Pretty good overall. I can't complain too much. There was, there's quite a few penalties in the second period. Not too, like two from the Blue Jackets and 3 from Seattle in that third period. There was no penalties in the first period and only 1 in the third. So that's kind of a nice thing to see sometimes. Obviously, we love, like last night's game, we'll talk about it later, when Olivier gets out there and throws the gloves off. Big fan of it. But also, when there's not many penalties, there's not many stoppages, the game keeps going and going. And it's, to me, honestly, I think it's exciting. I don't need a 7-goal game, even though it's kind of cool. I want to point out something funny here. And I'll talk about this with the other shootout game too. Kirill Marchenko is 3 for 3. He's 100% right now on his shootout shots. He is that guy. The only other person that has 100% is Charlie Coyle, but he has 1 shot. So I think you got to throw Coyle and Marchenko out there. Johnson, I'll just run through the stat real quick. We'll talk about points leaders later. Johnson is 1 for 2. Fantilli is 1 for 3, and Monahan is 0 for 1. So those are the only 2 shootouts. We'll talk about the penalty shot later. Overall, very good game. I would also give this an 8 out of 10. There's something funny I want to add on to the end here. So the only people who got points on the Blue Jackets that game was Adam Fantilli with the goal, Kirill Marchenko with the assist, and Monahan with the secondary assist. So you would think, Adam Fantilli, he'll probably be the first star of the game or something, because he tied it up to win, to go in overtime, and they won. No, Charlie Coyle for getting the game-winning shot in the shootout. Now, a goal in the shootout is not credited to your stats as a goal. You might have a special stat that says SO goals, shootout goal. But Charlie Coyle got #1 star of the game with 0 goals and 0 assists for 0 points. It's not the most uncommon thing. I'm sure it happens before, especially in shootouts. It's gonna happen more often, but like that's gotta be kind of rare. I don't know that I've ever really like noticed that happening before. I don't know how closely I pay attention, but I just thought that was really funny. Miles Murray, the Seattle goalie, he did get 2nd star of the game, and Ryan Winterton, with his 1 goal, got 3rd star of the game. I'm not really sure why Winterton got it over Fantilli, but the goalies played great. It was a good game. Blue Jackets, they took off on shots. It was a really good game for them, holding Seattle to 23 shots as they got 34. That is a good thing to see, because that's not always the case. I don't really have too much more about that game. It was a really nice game. Good win on the road. Can't be much more happy about that. The next game, though, we can be a lot more happy about, because they met Edmonton again. Now, that close together, there's going to be some fireworks going on down there. But give us the rundown here, Kev.
All right, so in many ways, that was much better compared to what they did on Monday. And in some ways, it was, again, also stupid brain farts that almost cost them the game, but fortunately,
In
the
the
Blue
third
Jackets.
period.
Yeah, in the third period. God damn. Jeez.
Oh, fuck.
But fortunately for the Blue Jackets, this time it didn't screw them and they won the game. So, first period, Blue Jackets played a good game. Definitely one of the better periods they played all season long. Why? Because the Blue Jackets 5-on-5 game is good. It is strong. It is one of the best in hockey. Last season, it was the best in hockey. And from an analytics standpoint, it was one of the best in hockey. And why is it good? Because when the Blue Jackets just focus on just no BS, out hustle the opponent, outwork the opponent, grind it out, aggressive, hustle, pucks on net. When they do that, it's magic. It's beautiful. It works. And you see that teams have a hard time handling that. They struggle with it. They don't know what to do with it. When you have guys like Kirill Marchenko and Dmitry Voronkov and Adam Fantilli, and then you can throw a guy, like a Boone Jenner out there, and then here's Kent Johnson and all this other stuff. When you have guys that are big and physical and they're fast and they can hit and they can grind it out and make your life terrible, it's hard to play against. It's a pain in the ass. And that's what they were doing. They were outworking the Oilers. They were out hustling the Oilers. Aggressive, grind it out. North-south, no BS, pucks on net. You shot it. If you didn't score, you went back and you got that puck again. And then you outworked them again. And then you shot that puck again on net. And it was again and again and again and again. Shift after shift after shift. You just kept coming and coming and coming. The Oilers had no answer for it. This is a game in that period that easily could have been 3-4, 5-0 after one period, just because of how good the Blue Jackets were in that period and how they had so many chances. But their goalie kept them in the game. They only allowed one. And that was a Matthew Olivier goal, where again, it's just you're out hustling the opponent, outworking them. You're working your ass off. You're grinding it out. Shift after shift after shift. Aggressive. Pucks on net. And that's what happens, is that the Blue Jackets, they get it in the offensive zone and they're cycling and they're working their ass off. They're out hustling the opponent. They're putting pucks on net. And eventually it's a low to high play. It goes up high. They shoot it. And then puck bounces off of Matthew Olivier's stick and in. Good goal. You earned it. And overall good period. Now, second period, again, you started out good. You play good. You get a second goal there. You're up 2-0. Looks good. And then stupid brain farts, just a lapse in judgment. You give up 2 quick goals, and now it's 2-2. But then Denton Mateychuk gets one right back, and now it's 3-2. And you're feeling pretty good about yourself. And then late in the second period, Adam Fantilli gets one, and it's 4-2. And again, it was an awesome goal because, like the first goal, honestly, all the goals that the Blue Jackets scored, they were just that type of goal where it's just you were outworking the opponent, out hustling them. You're grinding it out. Shift after shift, aggressive, pucks on net. That's how they got those goals. It's a good, especially the Adam Fantilli goal. Puck goes to Damon Severson. He shoots, he just misses. But then Blue Jackets go get the puck and they outwork the Oilers. There's a board battle along the boards. The Blue Jackets win it. It goes to Marchenko. Marchenko quickly fires it to the net. The Oilers stop it. And then there's Adam Fantilli right there. He shoots and scores. That was a goal that you earned. You outworked the opponent. You out hustled them. You worked your ass off. You earned it. You grinded it out. That's how you have to play. And it's the same thing. So good second period. Other than giving up the 2 goals there, you played a pretty good period there because you got 2 more. You played pretty good there minus the 2 goals. Then you get to the third period, and it starts out pretty good there. You're playing pretty good, playing a good game, and Matthew Olivier gets a goal. You're up 5-2. You're playing pretty good. And then after that, it just gets flushed down the toilet, right down the pooper. Awful, terrible, disgusting. Because again, just for whatever reason, the Blue Jackets just decided that they weren't going to play defense anymore. And just dumb mistakes, bad turnovers, and it's in the back of your net. And then, again, Leon Draisaitl, he's like Connor McDavid. He's going to get his chances. But you got to try your best to limit him. And the way you do it, get on him. Get on him. Do not give him that chance. And they didn't do that because he scored 2 goals where it's just basically he's wide open and he's going to shoot and score. And it's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? You cannot do this. And now it's 5-4. And it's just like, oh, are you kidding me? We're really doing this? We're really doing this again? Come on now, guys. Now, and then the fact is that you got it out, but then because the Oilers pulled the goalie towards the end of the game, you got it out, but you kept icing the puck. And it's like, okay, stop doing that. You can't keep doing that. 1 or 2 times is fine. I get it. It happens. It's part of the game. But you can't keep icing the puck. That's how you get scored on in that situation where you can't get it out. You keep icing it. You can't do a line change. And eventually you get scored on 9 times out of 10. Fortunately for the Blue Jackets, that one time out of 10 happened where you don't get scored on, and they played good defense to keep the puck out of the net. And eventually the Blue Jackets go on to win that game 5-4. So it's, in many ways, it's better than that game that they played in Edmonton. And in some ways, it's also bad, like that game in Edmonton that they played. The difference is that you found a way to get it done and win. And so for that, it's a 7 out of 10 game for me.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that too. I mean, with the first one, we talked about 8 out of 10 for like the first 2 periods or something, but kind of same thing here, and that's why I knock it down a point for what happened in the third, because you know every single person in that building was holding their breath, both on the Edmonton fans that were there and the Blue Jackets ones, and because we literally just saw this happen a few days before, this exact scenario, this exact situation, and what ended up happening was they blew it. Yeah, shout outs to Matthew Olivier for his for getting 2 goals that game. He had a 3-point night. It was crazy good for him. Love seeing it. Charlie Coyle, I love seeing him score some more too. Coyle's been very good for the team so far this year. I think that's been a pretty good pickup so far. So real quick, I want to talk about something that I kind of forgot about with Seattle, and that is Boone Jenner got injured during the first period, did not return, and will not return for a lengthy amount of time. It's undisclosed exactly what the injury is, and undisclosed the amount of time. But the way it's been talked about, it is going to be a lengthy, not the full season from what I understand, but a very lengthy healing process. So, unfortunately, once again, Eric Goodbranson and Boone Jenner are both out with injury. They're 2 very hard playing players, but also, unfortunately, been prone to injury. Mm-hmm. And what I'd hate to see happen is It's not Boone's fault. I'm not even like dogging on him for this at all. But what I'd hate to see happen is the chemistry between that line go crazy again. You know that I think there was a line with Veronica. I'm sorry, with Marchenko, Fantilli, and Monahan for a while at one point. It might have been a special teams thing. I don't know. I like that, but what I hate to see happen is that chemistry to be on there, and not that he couldn't have it with his line mates. He's a great player, but I felt like maybe for like the first couple games back last year, maybe you mess with the composition on the ice a little bit that they were so used to,
Yep.
and not necessarily not a bad thing, just you know, something. So anyway, what brings that up is on the Matt Savoy goal. Is that how I say that name? I think.
Yep. Yes.
Who was kind of taking his place at that moment, I think, was Luca Del Bel Belez. I think.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that. But in any case, Blue Jackets are playing zone defense, and they're actually doing a pretty good job, except for the guy who was up top who shot. Like the top floating guy that was kind of like going around was Luca Del Bel Belez, and he turned to watch the puck and was puck watching and not thinking about the man that was 20 feet behind him. He wasn't right behind him, but he was like pretty far away. And then you can't get in front of it in time, and that shit's gonna happen. Bouchard and Leon Draisaitl connected to make a goal happen. It's gonna happen. Leon Draisaitl's too good. You gotta literally stick to him like glue. And if you have to, push him over, you get a penalty. But like whatever. Like I'm all about that. Like personally, like dude, it might suck, but it's almost a guaranteed goal if him or Connor McDavid get that space. So just trip him. Don't hurt. Like don't try to injure and get a bad penalty or something. Just trip him. Because then at least you have a chance. Like if they're gonna score anyway, then you may have a little bit of chance. But anyway, Denton Mateychuk came in clutch with his 4th goal of the season. Good for him. Fantilli, great goal. And then Olivier came in with his 2nd goal of the game very shortly to make it 5-2. And at this point, everyone's like, oh, okay, 5-2. This is great. I can literally watch the rest of the game, like mostly hopeful that it's going to be a win. That's a 3-goal lead.
Yep.
It just doesn't matter, unfortunately, sometimes.
No.
And it doesn't matter when you're playing the Oilers, especially. And I just hate to see it happen more than once in a very short amount of time in a week. So, yeah. Then the next few goals, Vasily, I'm not saying that name.
Podkolzin.
Okay, close enough. Rozzy gave him a good what?
He's a Russian.
Oh, I assumed because that almost sounds like a Polish name. But I don't know of any Polish people in the NHL. There's probably a few, but yeah, Roslovic got an assist there, and then once again, the Edmonton Oilers went with their nuclear option. They put Draisaitl and McDavid out there on the ice with Evan Bouchard. That's a great combination, and they did connect to make it 5-4. And I when I tell you, I bet everyone's butthole collectively puckered at the same time. That's probably what happened. I mean, I was watching this while I was working last night. I had it up on my iPad, and when I saw that happen, I was like, now to be fair, it makes for exciting hockey, but just because it's exciting, it doesn't make it good. It makes it really anxious, and it's nerve-wracking a little bit to watch a team just piss a lead away like that, and you're like, because you just saw it. But thank God there was no OT, there was no 5th goal from the Oilers, but just gotta watch some things, gotta short some things up here. Yeah, Olivier, first star of the game, 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 points. Coyle, 1 goal with 2 assists for 3 points, and then Draisaitl got 3rd star of the game there with 2 goals for 2 points. Another well played game from both teams for the most part. we'll see how it continues on for the Blue Jackets. I'm not sure. They meet them. Nope, that was it. That's the only time they play. There's a lot. The only 2 times they play. What?
Yeah, they're done with the Oilers. It's only 2 times.
So they got it done pretty quick. They won one, lost one. At least they got a point in the first one, I guess. It was a 6-point game for the week for the Blue Jackets. That doesn't necessarily mean it was great because of the 2 overtimes, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, I had some fun stuff for the next game. At least I got one fun thing for the next game. So go ahead and start her off.
All right, so then Blue Jackets lose 2-1 in a shootout, which kind of surprising because the Blue Jackets are, like I said, in their last 9 shootouts, they're 8-1. So they've been good in shootouts. So you just figured that more likely than not, they're going to get it done. But you figured, hey, you're going on a good run that had to end eventually, I guess. And that's exactly what happened. And for me personally, it just comes down to this, is that you have chances to put it away. And other than that Voronkov goal and Marchenko scoring in the shootout, you couldn't get it done. And there's only so much you can do before you get scored on. And that's what happened, is that when the Rangers had chances to put it away, they put it away. Compared more than the Blue Jackets did. And that first goal that the Rangers scored, it was stupid. Because why? Dumb mistake, brain fart, because you don't get it out. You had 2 times to get it out. You don't get it out, and eventually it's in the back of your net. And it's not that, not only did you not get it out, but it's lazy, terrible. It's just little, half-assed efforts to just kind of, just barely get it out. And you do that, and it gets picked off, and it stays in the offensive zone for the Rangers. And eventually they score. Whereas if you put, from my perspective, if you put more effort into it and, a little more extra oomph behind it, you get it out, and you don't have to worry about that. But you didn't do that. You kind of half-assed attempt, and you don't get it out, and you get scored on. And that really did make a difference in the game, because if you don't give up that goal there, the way that game was played, you win. The more likely than not, you win that game 1-0, and then you feel a little bit better about that game. But no, you lose, so it's kind of gross. Hate it, but it is what it is. And you had you had chances to put it away, and other than the Voronkov goal and the Marchenko goal in the shootout, the only 2 times you did it, you had other chances, and other than the Voronkov goal and the Marchenko goal, you didn't put it away. And that, in a game like that, where there's very little chances going either way, it matters that much. When you have a chance to score, you better put it away in the net. And if you don't, for the most part, it's going to come back to hurt you. And that's what happened. When the Rangers had chances to score, that they put it away at a much better rate than the Blue Jackets did. And that's why the Blue Jackets lose, unfortunately. So 7 out of 10 game for me. If you win, that's an 8 out of 10 game at least. But you lose, I ding at a point. It goes 7 out of 10.
So you want to know a little weird, funny tidbit here that maybe I just find this interesting or funny. So in the first game of the week against Edmonton, the game-winning goal was none other than Jack Roslovic, who not only played for Columbus, but lived in Columbus. And in last night's game against the Rangers, JT Miller from East Palestine, Ohio, scored the game-winning goal in a shootout for the Rangers. So this week, 2 Ohio boys went up against their own and put it away for their own teams. They're great players. I love seeing Roslovic being successful, but damn it, just miss one for the boys, huh? So one thing I want to note about these goals too that happened, both goals were power play goals,
Yep.
and both teams were 1 for 2. So it was really good to see, even though there was quite a few penalties in that second period, they were very often matched. So like when Matthew Olivier fought Sam Carrick, they both got matched. Same thing with anyway. So there's just a couple very, very few penalties taken. Third period had none at all. I'm going to show that fight here in just a second because it was sick. I love it. But I will talk about the 3 stars of the game. So first star of the game, Igor Shesterkin. Of course it was. He had a 960 save percentage. Jet Greaves had 969 save percentage. He was star number 2. This was a battle of the bronze. Now, one thing the Blue Jackets kind of sat back here and let the other team do is just take more shots than them. That hasn't been quite the case. The Blue Jackets rip shots quite a bit more often than maybe in some previous years. Usually it's the other way around, but a couple more shots than them. So you got to really just get in front of those. Got to watch that. You got to be there for that. And JT Miller got the 3rd star of the game. I don't know if I already said that or not, but overall, really good game. I would love to give it. I feel like with a win, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I do agree with the 7 out of 10. I was going to give it a 6, but the more I think about it, I mean, the two goals they allowed, one was the shootout goal, or sorry, 3 goals technically. But once again, Kirill Marchenko showing up for that 100%, 3 for 3
Yeah.
in the shootout. Love to see it. But I do have a video. Now, this was posted by the wonderful Sarah Kent. If you're unfamiliar with her, she is very has a post all about the Blue Jackets all the time on Twitter. Check her out. She does some cool stuff. And you might see it other places, but she kind of has a kind of conglomeration of a lot of shit like this. So I am going to mute this, the 30-second clip. So this is Matthew Olivier. This is 4 minutes left in the second period up against Sam Carrick. And this is a very even bout. If you watch, the refs are getting the gloves out the way. They know what's going on. They're just going to sit back, let it happen. And here we go. So Olivier, part of what makes him so good is for his size. I think he has a long reach. But if we see here, Carrick has pretty good reach right here too. Now, Olivier went in for the grab first and just got a hold of him. And they're kind of swinging away. Their Carrick gets a little bit on his chin, but Olivier, watch this punch coming up right here. Boom. Knocks him down with that punch. He stumbled. That wasn't just like I pulled you and you slipped and fell. Like here, Carrick, I mean, he was going to the locker room there, I think, to go get checked out. Like because he got hit so hard in the head, it's probably his protocol. I think it knocked his helmet off too. I think sometimes if that happens, you're supposed to go get checked out real quick. But I don't 100% recall exactly what was going on in this moment that led up to this. Do you remember, Kevin?
So
I'll play one more
essentially,
time, but
yeah, well, no, but essentially you have some Rangers players that were kind of mouthing off to Matthew Olivier, and like, okay, you can do that. But that's stupid. You shouldn't do that. But Rangers players were mouthing off to Matthew Olivier, and at first Matthew Olivier just kind of like ignored it. But then when you keep doing it, he's like, okay, well, are you going to do it or not? Like, let's go. I'm ready. And he didn't want to do it. And then eventually Matthew Olivier just kind of made him fight. Like, okay, we're doing this now. Like, quit running your mouth. You're going to do it or not. Yeah. And he fought him. And as you see in that video, Matthew Olivier, beat him pretty good and kicked his ass. And for some apparent reason, people keep doing this where they think that they can fight Matthew Olivier and think that they're going to win or have a good time with it. I'm here to tell you that no, you are not going to have a good time with it. And no, you are not going to win. So why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep thinking that you can go after Matthew Olivier? Why do you think that you can keep fighting Matthew Olivier? Because you can't, because you're going to lose. It's not going to work out well for you. So you just need to stop doing that. It's just not good. It's embarrassing that you think you can fight Matthew Olivier. It's not going to work out. And if anything, you're going to get Matthew Olivier fired up, and then he's going to play better, which then makes the Blue Jackets play better, and you're going to give them more momentum. So honestly, in my opinion, I think these opposing players from opposing teams just need to stop being stupid and be more smart and say, I'm not going to fight Matthew Olivier. I'm just not, because it's not going to work out well for me. I'm going to lose. Might get my ass handed to me. I'm going to lose, and I'm going to give momentum to the Blue Jackets. And Matthew Olivier is going to get pumped up, and he's going to play better, which means that's going to benefit the Blue Jackets, and the Blue Jackets are going to play better. So, just don't do that. From an opposing team perspective, what are you doing? Why are you fighting Matthew Olivier? It's not going to work out well for you, so you should just stop.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the Rangers didn't quite learn their lesson when back in October, Matt Rempe, well known for being just a big guy who just likes to fight a lot, he broke his thumb fighting Ryan Reeves.
Yeah.
Revo, another really well-known fighter in the NHL, not someone I would ever want to go up against. Stop picking on those guys. They'll answer. They have no problem answering. And when someone looks at you and laughs a little bit and throws the gloves off, as opposed to being like, "Nah, I don't want this," you should be aware that you're about to have a bad time. And if you're gonna fight, you gotta expect to get hurt. I hope he's okay, but that was a solid punch to the face. Like that dude was about to fall down if Olivier didn't keep a hold of his shirt.
Yeah.
That was probably about a pretty nice thing for him to do almost. But yeah, that's why Rempe wasn't there to fight in his place or anything like that. He's out for a long time.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So Adam Fantilli scored a goal against the Oilers. Well, he scored 2 goals against the Oilers, and the one he scored in Edmonton was cool, but they lost. So I don't play goal. If you score an awesome goal, but your team loses, I'm not playing it. Sorry, that's just how it is. But before we get to that, I need to go plug in my computer. So after Duck can talk a little bit.
Yeah, I'll talk about the points leaders right now real quick. I got that pulled up to talk about. Not too much change from the last week. Marchenko is still in head. Excuse me, sorry. Voronkov's not too far behind him, but it's Marchenko is starting to pull away. He's starting to pull away similar to how Werenski did last year too. So 8 goals, 12 assists with Marchenko. And which the 12 assists, because we were just talking about this last week, or I was specifically about Adam Fantilli and Kent Johnson heating up a little bit as the season goes on. I don't think we'll see them stumble quite as much. But we did see this last week, Adam Fantilli scoring a couple more goals there, which is great because he plays with Marchenko here, especially with Boone Jenner going to be out. There's going to be a little bit different composition of those first 2 lines. So Marchenko's up top with 20 points. Voronkov's behind him with 14. Werenski's still following up with 13, and then Coyle and Adam Fantilli are tied with 12 points each. Boone Jenner is at 10, and he'll stay at 10, unfortunately, for quite a long time this season. I'm blurry. Why am I blurry? There we go. Sean Monahan following up with 9 points. Looked for him to get quite a few more, but Matthew Olivier, they're at 8 points. I talked about this last week, and I guarantee if he would ever have heard of the show, he probably not listening, doesn't get two shits what I say, but I did say something about that last week about how he hasn't been getting as many minutes as last season, and the stats were starting to show that. So he was featured a bit more these last few games. In fact, I think he was out there 3-on-3 at one point too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. But he has been getting a few more minutes. He's still around the 14-minute mark, which is still playing in the NHL or still playing good minutes. It's just not top line, but we'll see how that goes. Other than that, Matejchuk's been doing good with Sillinger. They round out the top 10 with 7 points each. So nothing crazy changes going on, but Kirill Marchenko, 20 points. The next closest behind him is 14 points. 6-point difference between the top guy. And people might say, oh, well, Werenski's their only superstar. Hell no, dude. Look, just pay attention a little bit. Anyway, that's the points leaders.
All right. So we'll put the goal up on the screen here. So this is the Blue Jackets are up 3-2 late in the second period, a little over a minute 43 to go. So a little over a minute to go in the second period. And this is a goal that literally, when I said that the Blue Jackets earned it and they worked their ass off, they out-hustled the Oilers, outworked them. This is a perfect example of this because so Severson, it's not shown in this clip right here, but how it starts is the Blue Jackets get the puck in the offensive zone and they pass to Severson, who's wide open. He shoots, and the Oilers goalie makes a stop, and then it's a puck battle along the boards, and then it gets to Marchenko, and Marchenko wins the puck battle, and he quickly gets it to the net. He doesn't score there, but then Fantilli, he's going to be right in front of the net, and then he's going to shoot and score. So puck battle, here we go. So there's Marchenko. Good puck battle. Marchenko wins the puck battle. Boom, gets to Fantilli. Fantilli shoots and scores. And you're going to see it on the replay just how perfect was this, how everyone did their part to earn this goal. Just an awesome goal here by the Blue Jackets here. And Adam Fantilli finishes off here. All right, so here we go. Pass. There's Damon Severson. He's going to shoot. Boom, save made. And then puck battle along the boards. There's Marchenko. He's going to get it to Fantilli. And Fantilli's going to shoot and score. And this is another thing I like here. So right here, Fantilli, he's kind of reading the play, and it looks, he's probably thinking, okay, puck's probably coming to this area. But then he sees the play and understands that, okay, no, it's not. I got to get to right in front of the net. And that's good hockey IQ from Fantilli, because not everyone has that mindset, that hockey IQ to understand what's going on. Other players would have just stood here. But for Fantilli, he has the hockey IQ to understand what's going on and reads the play well to say, okay, I got to get to the front of the net because that's where it's going, because everyone is paying attention to Marchenko with the puck. And Marchenko uses that to his advantage and quickly gets it to Fantilli. So, good goal overall. So what you thinking here, Hefty Duck?
Yeah, great puck handling skills there by Fantilli to get that rebound there. It's just so smooth. Watching it in the slow motion too, the way he catches it, and then not only is that a great goal, but that helped give the Blue Jackets some momentum at that point too, which they really needed after getting scored on. So big props to the young Fantilli.
And
I'll watch this again. Marchenko, look at that freaking sick backhand pass. This is like a page out of McDavid's book right here. This
Yeah.
is why Marchenko is a superstar. There's
Yeah.
not like he might become one. No, he is. He's
No.
here. He's been here.
I want to back this up here because I didn't see this, but this is a mistake that the Oilers made because look, so you see it, Severson shoots, it gets saved, and right there, you see it, they have a chance to get the puck and clear it. Oops, but they don't. He misses it, and then
Friedrich kicked it and then couldn't get it.
Couldn't get it. Marchenko gets it, and there's Fantilli. He's going to shoot and score. So
that's one of those great things. Like I was talking about Connor McDavid doing things that you've never seen before, or things that like you just wouldn't expect. Why would you expect a backhand pass from the corner like that?
Yeah.
You wouldn't. But he did it, and he did it well. Because that's another big thing. You can try all the fancy shit you want, but I'm going to sound like Torts here, but you can try all the fancy shit you want, but like a lot of times it ain't going to work. It's NHL. Yeah. But holy shit. What a pass.
Yeah.
And the shot was great, but Marchenko, what a G.
When I say that this is, when the Blue Jackets, they're good, they're doing their 5-on-5 game, when they're out hustling the opponent, they're out working the other opponent and grinding it out. This is what I mean. Edmonton had a chance to get it out, but once they couldn't get it out, they had no chance on this because they're puck watching and they have no way to catch up to the Blue Jackets' speed, aggressiveness, and just their willingness to outwork the opponent and their strong 5-on-5 play. This is what I mean when the Blue Jackets, when they're at their best, doing their 5-on-5 play and outworking the other opponent, out hustling the other opponent, working their ass off, grinding it out, being aggressive, and pucks on net. When they do that, they're hard to beat. And if you suck at 5-on-5 and you're playing the Blue Jackets, it's going to be a long night for you. Today's not your day because the Blue Jackets will expose that. If you suck at 5-on-5, they will expose that and you will get scored on if you don't fix that. And for the Oilers, they didn't fix it. And that's a big reason why they lost, that their 5-on-5 play against the Blue Jackets sucked. It wasn't very good. And that's a big reason why they lost to the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, that's the one thing Blue Jackets have been really good at is the 5-on-5. It seems equal, and which I don't understand. Then I'm a broken record. I know. I don't understand then how when it goes 5-on-4, what's the issue? Where's the problem? Where's the hang up? You're doing great 5-on-5, so wouldn't that translate good to 5-on-4? I just don't. I don't know. That shorthanded goal really bothered me. I was like, come on, guys. Like, there's so many of you out there. Just, you know what? You're already on a power play. Just knock them over. I say that all the time. And I'm, in some ways, I'm joking a little bit, but also not, because sometimes you guys take the foul, live with the consequences to avoid getting scored on for sure right then. Whatever. Not saying that they don't, but
no.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Now, before we get to our next thing, if you're watching the show, you probably noticed that little QR code up on the screen there. Look at that. We're being fancy now. We're moving on up in the world.
We're in the future now.
Yeah. Because StreamYard, because we're
old man.
Because we use StreamYard. That's how we do the show here. So StreamYard helps us get to, Twitter and YouTube. And they've been given, StreamYard now has all these like fancy, like, extra little, I guess toys and extra little stuff that you can play with. One of those being is a QR code. If you scan that QR code on the screen, it will take you to our YouTube page. So, scan that QR code and it takes you to our YouTube page where you can subscribe and you can see all the stuff that we've done on YouTube of all of our shows. So check that out. Scan the QR code on the screen. So
Do it. And if you are not watching on like a tablet or laptop and you're watching on your phone, I think you can just like screenshot it and then in the photo you can like click it. I mean,
yeah,
I think on Apple you can anyway.
there. But next up, we promised hockey jersey concept, so here we go. So I really like this one. We're doing two different ones, two different sets. So from E Dunkel Designs.
Yeah, I think we've featured them before a little bit.
Yeah, they good stuff. So this is like his take on the Blue Jackets third jersey with like a little different twist. So it's the Cannon logo, and it's dark blue with the white stripe and then light blue shoulders. And then there's a star, and then there's chevrons on it, and it's a light blue helmet. The numbers are outlined white and light blue. And then on the shoulders, it's white numbers outlined in dark blue, and it's light blue pants with some socks that have like white on it with blue stripes, and then light blue socks, and the state of Ohio with the captain C on it. So I like this. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this one. I think I may have maybe seen it before. I've mentioned before that with the third jerseys, I do like that off-white cream color that's on them, but I'm a fan of like the pure white, like the bleach kind of white as well.
Yeah.
In fact, with this color combination, I really like it.
Yeah.
And what I really like about this too, this is like real little and not important, but the numbers being up on the top of the shoulders where those patches normally go instead of on the sides of the shoulder, it's really cool because on this particular uniform, it's taken after the Union Blue uniforms, right? And so like similar to the ones they had for the outdoor game, they use like a chevron kind of thing on it, and it features that and the star patch on the sides of the arms instead of the number. And I just think it's kind of a cool concept. I don't know if there's actual rules about that in the NHL or not. If they have to be a certain way so they can see who it is at all times. I'm not super crazy about the badge, the patch on the shorts there. It's like a little chevron one thing. It's okay. I don't know that that's the place I would have put it, but I love the Ohio outline patches a lot because just a big fan of it. Overall, I would 100% buy this jersey. For me, nothing about this is disappointing enough to make it not a 9 out of 10.
No.
9 out of 10 for me at E Dunkel Designs.
Yes. Let's see here. Yeah, I know he's got something else here. Oh, and there's his inspiration. It comes from a Union soldier.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
I've never seen it with the red like that. I mean, I know it's like a colorized photo, but interesting. I like it.
I really like that. That's using the Blue Jackets Civil War theme well.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Let's see. And then here's the caption that he wrote. In my opinion, the at Blue Jackets NHL are in need of another brand refresh. The team has struggled throughout their history, and it feels like it's fitting to evolve the brand as new, exciting players work their way onto the roster, paving the way for a new era of Ohio hockey. I've always loved history, and it shocks me that the Blue Jackets haven't used the Civil War Union uniform palette. Rumor is that the team's originally designed to be two tones of blue. The concept I made was made originally for quote bold future designs. I wanted to expand upon it and made it a full kit. For a while, the popular Cannon logo takes center stage with an Ohio shaped captain's patch. The sleeves are modeled after the ordnance officer's insignia, which can be seen on the following slide. So that one right there. The Ohio flag can be seen in the collar. Oh, wow, look at that. I didn't see that, but it's right there. That's cool.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. So overall, I really like this one. This is cool.
Pretty sick.
A lot of time and a lot of work and detail went into this, and I could say that E. Dunkel Designs definitely designed this well. So good job.
Pretty sick.
So, as a designer, Hefty Duck, do you got anything to say about this?
Now, the only thing in here at all, this is super, super, super picky, is the inside of the glove is off-white instead of pure white. But,
Yeah.
that might be just a better idea for the longevity of the glove. It's gonna get dirty instantly.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Next up. So this is from ZQ8 ZQ9. And this is ZQ9's take on the Blue Jackets' third jersey. So third jersey cannon, a dark blue jersey, and then he has stars on the sleeve. And it's a different striping pattern. A lot more light blue and a lot more like that vintage looking cream white sort of thing.
Yeah, as soon as when you brought this up, I almost thought instantly I was just looking at the regular third jersey. Um, this is okay. I like the last one better. Just to give a little bit of a comparison, it's okay. I would prefer there to not be the silver stripes on the sleeves. It's
Yeah.
one too many stripes for me.
Yeah.
And the star being on top of the stripes, it's really busy. It's just really busy in that one area when other parts of the jersey are kind of more plain. And so personally, I would maybe to put like like a silver stripe down by the wrist, give
Yeah.
it a little, something there because it's a very plain part, and then put the star between that stripe and the other stripes.
Yeah.
And I'd probably take away that top blue stripe too. So it would probably just mostly be like the third jersey a little bit. But I like the addition of the light blue at the bottom around the waist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a good old 6.5 out of 10. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Just a few things I got to nitpick.
Yeah. All right. And this is by Z89. That the 8 kind of looks like a Q there, but it's not a Q, it's an 8. So it's Z89. So Z89 did this. He also did a white version of that, and I like it, but it's a little too much silver for my liking. Needs a little more blue, whether it be dark blue, light blue, it needs more blue.
Very similar to with the dark blue like home style jersey. One too many stripes around the elbows for me, my taste. Move the star away from off the stripes. I'm actually in this instance not as big as a fan of the dark blue around the bottom of the waist as I was the light blue on the last one. The silver on the inside of the patch throws me off a little bit too. I think that could just be like a shiny white, like a metallic kind of white because of the cannon's gray, and it makes it blend. It reduces the contrast to the point where you obviously see the dark blue up against the gray, but I kind of just maybe just make it white.
Yeah.
Overall, pretty good. I'll give this one. I do like this one slightly better than the last one. I'll give this one a full 7 out of 10.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, he did. This guy must like the cannon because he did a light blue jersey with the Blue Jackets cannon. It does have chevrons on it and stars on the sleeve. Carry the flag, Ohio flag, carry the flag in the sleeve. So that's cool.
That's kinda cool.
the numbers are basically the same numbers that the third jersey used. So it's that light vintage white vintage, the cream with the flash vintage white outlined in the silver. I like this. It's different. You really it happens sometimes where you see some light blue jersey concepts for the Blue Jackets, but most of the time it's just blue, regular dark blue. But I like this, and the cannon's cool, and I like the chevron, so that's cool.
My first reaction when I saw this was like, "Ooh, I don't know about that," because of how light it seems compared to like how dark the current regular jerseys are. I really like the dark blue. I really do. I do like the light blue, but as a feature color, just because the uniforms were the blue jackets, they were the blue coats,
Mhm.
um, and the pants were the light blue part
Yeah,
of the outfit, and
yeah.
so having it the light blue is a slightly more of a secondary color. Uh, I do like this overall though, like the
Yeah.
chevrons on the side, like the star patches on the shoulders. I think that I would have gone with a thinner. This is like I'm getting real nitpicky with this shit because we've gone through a whole bunch of them, so I gotta kind of pick them apart a little bit. Um, I would have the off white stripe around the waist, but before the blue one, I would have made that a little bit thinner and made the dark blue one a little bit thicker. So basically, just widen the bottom one and thin the little one there. Super nitpicky. Other than that, I like this a lot. I would buy this. I would wear this. I would give this an 8 out of 10.
Good. All right, let's see here. Oh, nope, we're not doing that one. That's ugly. Ugly.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. Well, we'll let the audio listeners know. It was a bright neon green
Or
jersey
sticker.
with a Stinger logo in the middle of it, and I immediately it hurt. It hurt to look at. I don't want to look at it anymore.
No, I don't.
So
I
0 out of 10. Fuck that
yeah.
shit.
Um I really do like this. Like, this is a light blue jersey, but it's awesome. Like, I like the Kepi logo on the front, and like the state of Ohio is on like the side, I guess, acting as kind of like a chevron sort of thing. Like, and then the
Yeah.
numbers are dark blue outlined in like that cream vintage white. Like, I like this. This is different.
I like how different this is. I do like that Kepi logo. I think I like it better as a secondary patch as opposed to like the main one in the middle, but I do like it.
Yeah.
Big fan of the Kepi. Would have been cool to see like the rifles on the front on the cross of the forehead of the cap, silver. Once again, being real nitpicky here. I am gonna bring up something that I don't know. As an Ohioan born and raised, I'm not sure about changing the color of the flag on this outfit. This is a really cool idea. Having
Yeah.
the flag wrap around the back of the elbows like that, pretty cool. They took it a monochromatic color, so it's all shades of blue. There's no red on this jersey at all, which is fine. When the light blue is featured mostly, I don't like to see the red on the jerseys anyway. I think it clashes. But
Yeah.
the Ohio flag has dark blue stripes, a dark blue center of the circle, and then a slightly lighter blue um for the blue in the middle. And honestly, I think it would bug me less if the colors were switched and the stripes were the light blue.
Hmm.
I get why they didn't do that. It would blend in with the sleeves. But like honestly, when you look at the Ohio flag, if you turn it black and white, the blue part's gonna be darker than the red part.
Yeah.
So uh that's throwing me off a little bit. Otherwise, I'll still give this one at least a 7 out of 10. Would buy it. I don't know that I paid over 200 for it like some jerseys nowadays.
Let's see
Get it on
here.
sale at 160.
Let's see. Okay, so this is another take on the third jersey. Different striping pattern, Canon logo, but I really like those light blue pants with the dark blue and the silver striping. I really like the light blue pants on this jersey. It really helps it make it pop.
Big fan here. Once again, it almost looks just kind of like looking at the current third jersey in a lot of ways. But a couple of big differences here on the striping. This once again has a star patch on top of the stripes around the elbows, and it also has like the one too many stripes like I was talking about from before. I think that center blue stripe that's going through the cream color is a bit, a tiny bit too much. But I like the socks. I like how they have the pants with it. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of the dark jerseys with the blue pants because when we do talk about the theme, the Civil War theme, that was how the uniform was.
Yep.
And I don't mind the silver. I think that maybe the silver could be a little bit lighter, a little bit more brighter, a little bit more white.
Yeah.
Otherwise, once again, I know I've been kind of a broken record with it. 7 out of 10. That first one blew me away, so now I'm kind of judging all of them by the first one.
Yeah. Let's see here. We're gonna keep going here. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about this.
Ooh,
It just the light blue pants is cool, but it's not enough blue. It's just
it's not, but as an away jersey, I don't mind this.
yeah,
I had the exact same critique as the last one
yeah,
with the stripes. That's all. Oh, and the gray patch. Yeah.
yeah, never
Yeah.
mind. Oh well.
On to the next. On to the next.
Okay, see, so
Mm.
we've already talked about this jersey, but this is what, oh God, I love this with the blue pants and the light blue stripe and like the cream. Oh, I love this with
I
the
like it better
pants.
with the pants than just the jersey by itself, though.
Yeah,
That does complete the look. Uh, it'd be cool if they kept like the similar striping going down the socks to make it look almost like Cooperalls.
yeah,
But I still like it. Big
yeah,
fan.
yeah. I like this. Let's see here. Nope.
Jeez, why lime green anything?
Yeah, okay. See, we reviewed the jersey, but I like it with with the dark blue pants.
Yeah, this is the Kepi logo jersey for the audio listeners, and this was made a while ago because it definitely has
Yeah, yeah.
Line A's name on the back. You know our thoughts.
Yeah,
So this actually shows the back of the jersey too, and it shows that the Ohio flag does not actually wrap the whole way around. I was wondering about that if it would and connect. Um, yeah, I like this with the pants. I don't know that I would have done light blue tops of the socks, and maybe I'd just done light blue or all dark blue with the
mhm,
socks only.
yeah. Still good. I like this.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, that's just on a puck, yeah, on a goalie mask, which is cool. I
That's
like
sick.
this.
That's pretty sick. Yeah.
And then,
The
Union
inspiration.
Soldiers, the inspiration. Let's see here. That's the Flyers. All right, so that's the end of that. Um, so I'll put this up on the screen here. So Dave Holmes from ABC 6 News, one of the people in the, Columbus media, did this really cool video of what it's like working for the Blue Jackets as the equipment guy. So we're going to play this video because it's really cool. This and like one or two other things will be the last thing we'll talk about, and then we'll get out of here. So here it is. We're going to put this up on the screen, and it is up on the screen. Oh, geez. All right, so here we go.
And then number 2 would be Christensen, all the way up to our last one, Kent Johnson. So this is pretty much our team that's here. All these jerseys are guys in Cleveland. So guys
They're ready for the call up.
Yeah, guys get called up. We have their jersey here.
All right, so this is a real deal game worn Adam Fantilli, huh?
Yes, sir.
If this went missing somehow.
Inside, every jersey has a set tag.
Oh.
So here, it'll say Columbus Blue Jackets 25-26 season, official game jersey, set 1. And then when we get our set 2, set 2, set 3, and so on. And we had a picture in here of the inaugural season.
This is a ridiculous question, but are these small, medium, and large? I mean, or is every single sweater custom fit?
Yeah, the sizes come in 52 would be your smallest, and 58 is your biggest.
Do you ever have friends hitting you up, being like, "Hey man, can you get me a pair of these or
Yeah,
a
of
game
course.
more than that?" Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, you try to, try to help out when you can. This row here is pretty much designated to each player. So each player will have a bin.
Yeah. So you got Sean Monahan's gear here. We
Yep.
have Matthew Olivier's gear. Here's Boone Jenner's helmets.
Yep. Each guy has their bin. We keep their gloves. They have their home and road set of gloves, and then these are the gloves for the alternate jersey.
Yeah. So you got the names on them over here.
Yep, they all have their names on them.
So like here's a Zach Werenski stick. Make sure I don't break the stick on camera. Wow, this is way lighter than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, the sticks are light.
That's really light.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like here, if you can get where was I saw his name on? There we go.
Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like here's Werenski's. And then here is what Zach said he's putting on a stick this year for Johnny.
Yep.
There's the 13 for Gaudreau. That's really cool. Do you ever think about how your job is so mundane to you, but other people would find it so fascinating if they were here?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I know. I mean, hockey's it's NHL sport, and there's a lot of fans out there, thank God, and people are interested in what goes on. So
Yeah.
I get it for sure. And then there's all the goalie stalls.
Okay, yeah. So
So new gear for
here's
for Elvis.
Elvis's stuff.
Yep. Whenever he needs to get into a new glove or new blocker, we have it back here.
These are huge.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I mean, how could you not stop it? It's huge.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
You said that.
yeah, please do. Yeah, it's easy, man. I mean, I'm a hat guy,
Yep.
so I'm nerding out here right now.
All right.
Is this just for the guys?
It's for players. It's for staff. It's
That's
a lot of
really
hats.
Cool. That's very cool.
Pick one out.
Are you serious? right
Sure, take one.
now? Are you serious?
Yeah,
right now?
yeah. You can have a hat. We have lots of hats.
All right, let's go. Man, these are also.
Yeah, I don't know why we have so many.
Well, you're about to have one less.
I like that black one with the black logo.
Yeah.
I'm going with that.
Cool.
Similar to what I have.
Here's our stick rack right here. We'll bring this out to the bench for games. So each player will have their numbers up here. Each player will put out their 2 spares that they want for their backups for the game. Once game time comes, we'll roll this out, and other sticks will be out there. And we have other supplies on it that they might need: towels, tape over here. But we'll just go around, and maybe just like straighten up a little bit if these are like that. I might just kind of straighten it up, make sure everything's the same and uniform in each stall.
Yeah, nothing like NHL OCD, right?
Exactly.
Do you feel like when they win a game that you're also a part of that? Because when a team wins a Stanley Cup,
Yeah.
Everyone there is getting those rings. They're all a part of it.
Sure, and that's what's great about hockey players and this group is they feel involved, and you just pull this trigger, steel comes right out. And this is nice for when something goes wrong during a game. In the old days before they had the quick release blades, the player had to take their skate off. Go get it sharpened. Now it's just real simple. Take it out, grab a new set, and right back in.
The obsession with bubble gum
Yeah.
on these guys.
Yeah.
This is enough bubble gum to last a lifetime or about one game in the NHL if you ever run around
Yeah.
these guys. What's with the bubble gum? Why are they
Okay.
so obsessed?
So it's just something that guys love to grab. They'll use it when they go on the ice for warm-ups. They'll use it in the locker room.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a little bit of a candy.
Yeah.
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 And if you look in here, there's even more.
Oh my
Just-
goodness.
Yeah. It just keeps going. So it's always in the locker room.
Gum supply.
And we have to keep the bathrooms stocked with toiletries as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we keep the different stuff for shaving and deodorants and
Now hold on. All these guys have beards. No one's actually using these razors, are they?
the razors don't get used too often. They really don't.
This is so interesting.
Yeah. We keep the bathroom stocked. There's a lot of ordering that goes on.
Yeah.
That's funny stuff I wouldn't think of a
It's like you guys
equipment
have
manager having to worry
everything
about.
here if you just
Right.
live here.
Yeah.
Just check this out, Matt.
Yeah.
Enough hair gel to last a lifetime. So these guys just have everything. They could honestly live in Nationwide Arena.
Yeah. I've lived here a few days.
So
uh,
that's not all, because Dave Holmes also posted one more video that was just awesome. So we'll play that. and then Hefty Duck and I can say some stuff about it. Get this.
We have a blade holder. Lock it in.
For equipment manager Paul DeFazio, hockey has been a 27-year love affair. And the sparks are still there.
Is there ever a pinch me moment that you think that this is your office? You could be in a cubicle right now, crunching numbers like an accountant.
Oh yeah, all the time. I couldn't be happier. I love my job.
And his job is anything but dull.
How sharp is that?
It's not sharp this way.
Okay.
You can go down this way, and you won't get cut. It's more sharp this way.
Paul has to make sure every player's skates are sharpened just the way they like it.
So this 38 here, are these Boone Jenner's blades right here?
Yeah. So what we'll do is in the before the morning skate, we'll take the first set here. We'll go put this in his skates.
And every player likes his blade a certain way. Faster players prefer a shallow hollow. More physical players like a deeper hollow that allows them more agility.
There you
we go. Boone is ready to skate.
Yep.
You're welcome, buddy.
Paul DeFazio is used to working behind the scenes, but he aired all his dirty laundry for us in a special behind-the-scenes tour.
So this is our laundry room. We're really lucky. It's a big area. We have 4 washers, 4 dryers.
But sometimes laundry can't wait until after the game.
Every time they come off the ice, they want to get their gloves dried because they get wet during the period. So we'll have guys standing here. They'll come out. We'll grab their gloves, throw them on here, dry them during intermission.
You would be amazed at the things that happen during a hockey game. If a player's uniform tears, Paul springs into action. Every NHL locker room is equipped with an industrial-strength sewing machine.
Were you good in home ec class in junior high?
This is more of a learn on the job.
And part of Paul's job is to learn what every player needs and, more importantly, what every player wants.
The obsession with bubble gum on these guys. Now, hold on. All these guys have beards. No one's actually using these razors, are they?
The razors don't get used too often.
Enough hair gel to last a lifetime. They could honestly live at Nationwide Arena.
I've lived here a few days.
The equipment manager has to be ready for anything,
Here's a Zach Werenski stick.
which is why every player has 2 spare sticks ready on the bench.
Wow, this is way lighter than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, the sticks are light.
After 27 years in hockey, all this might seem mundane to Paul DeFazio.
Skate goes on.
But to a Blue Jacket fan, a tour like this is pretty riveting.
And we tighten the rivet.
So you think the Jackets are going to the playoffs?
I do.
All right. As long as the equipment's good.
Exactly. If I have anything to do with it, I'll do my part.
At Nationwide Arena, I'm Dave Holmes, on your side.
So overall, that's pretty cool, and that was an awesome story. So when I saw that Dave Holmes from ABC6 News did that, I just thought that was just awesome, just really cool, and it's just awesome. And it's just like we need more stuff like that. Blue Jackets coverage in the Columbus media is getting better. It really is. But we still need more stuff than that because there's many people in the Columbus media that unfortunately can't be bothered to pay attention to the Blue Jackets, and they're just pay attention to Ohio State. Like, cool, but there's more to Columbus South than just Ohio State. And there's people like Dave Holmes from ABC6 News that are putting in the work to do what everyone else in the Columbus media should be doing, which is more Blue Jackets coverage. So that was pretty cool to get a behind-the-scenes look of what it's like working for the Blue Jackets.
Especially since Jamie Healy is no longer with them. He was with the Blue Jackets since the beginning.
Yep.
I believe Jamie Healy worked for them for like 24 years or something like that.
Yep.
And it is cool to see. I'm sure there's not. I mean, he ran that place. It was like everything that's in place now is probably still from the protocols and the stuff that he set in place. I'm sure, but
Yeah.
It's interesting to see the new guy in there as well. Obviously, unless you're pretty deep into the fandom of the team, you might not really think much about the equipment manager, but Jamie Healy was well known because he was there for so long, and now he went on to, I think, help with the Team USA stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure where he's at now. I think that might be what he's doing the most of, but yeah, pretty cool to see. I love the behind the scenes stuff.
So, next up, we got like one or two more things to get going here. So we do it with the Blue Jackets. We do a little give and a little take, and we've done it with Ohio State. A little give and a little take. Earlier on in the show was a give. This one's going to be a take because I saw this video that Penn State posted, and it's a video from one of their games where they scored a goal. And when you watch this, you just, like we've said this before, but you just realize how good other Big Ten schools have it when it comes to hockey. How they care about hockey more, they put more effort into it, and they have better hockey facilities, which means you get better coaches, better players, better results, which is why you see like a school like Michigan, who's consistently good at hockey, producing top talent, like a Dylan Larkin, a Kyle Connor, a Zach Werenski, a Kent Johnson, or Adam Fantilli, something I wish Ohio State would do. And this video that Penn State posted just showed what an awesome hockey arena that Penn State has, and just the environment and how loud it is when Penn State scores a goal. So we're going to play this and just know that we wish Ohio State had something like this. So just a little bit.
Damn. That looks legit. I guess one of the other more familiar college rinks to me is going to be Mullet Arena out in Arizona. We saw Arizona play there for a whole season.
Yeah.
This is every bit as nice as that. I thought Mullet Arena was nice. I mean, it's not going to sit what a professional arena is going to, but it was a very nice looking arena, and I'm sure that the NHL helped put good money into that too. And
yeah,
this looks really nice. This is Picula Ice Arena. I don't know how to pronounce that. I can't quite see the Picula. Gotcha.
Yeah. So
pretty nice looking.
It's like, look, this is just awesome. It's like, man, I wish Ohio State would put more effort into their hockey team so they could have stuff like this, but they're not interested. They're just okay with being a football school, which is fine, but then, your other programs suffer and hockey does. And it's amazing that Ohio State's women's hockey team has played in 4 national championships and winning 2 of them when Ohio State can't be bothered to really pay attention to hockey. So I kind of wish they'd get with the program and put more effort into hockey and have awesome hockey arenas like every other Big Ten school has.
Yeah, right.
So that's that. Continuing on with the take is, we'll share this and I'll zoom in on it. This is the Minnesota Golden Gophers roster. And if you look at their roster for, their starting lineup in a particular game against the Long Island Sharks, I'll point this out to you. If you look at their roster, it's just about every guy is a prospect of an NHL team. And again, I do not mean this in a disrespectful way, but the truth is you really don't see that with Ohio State. And I wish that wasn't the case. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish Ohio State hockey could be like this, where you could look at a roster and say, man, this is cool. Look at all that NHL talent that they have on their team. Because your first line for the Gophers has NHL talent. We got a Canadiens prospect, a Utah prospect, New York Rangers prospect. Second line has a Bruins prospect, Minnesota prospect. Third line has Nashville prospect, a Buffalo prospect. Your fourth line has Ottawa prospect, a Devils prospect. And then on defense, Canadiens prospect, Nashville prospect, Utah prospect, and Detroit prospect. Look at all this. This is really good. And it's not surprising because Minnesota is historically good at hockey. They are the state of hockey. They put a lot of effort into hockey. I've been to Minnesota many times for hockey games. 4 games. And they're all wild games. But just when you're in Minnesota in general, the whole hockey culture up there is awesome. It's everywhere. I was there in March of 2024 for, the Wild when they played the Predators, but the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament was there that weekend, and they sold out everywhere, 18,000 plus for every game. It's everywhere. All the bars there are packed, and they have the high school hockey games on TV, and hockey is everywhere up there, and it's really cool. So, it's not surprising that Minnesota is good at hockey, and it's just and it's not surprising that the Gophers have all this NHL talent on their team. And again, it's something just looking at them, I think, oh, that's cool. I wish Ohio State had that. I wish Ohio State took hockey more seriously, but they don't. So just throwing that one out there, that I wish Ohio State had cared more about hockey like other Big Ten teams do, like the Gophers and Michigan and other teams, because it is impressive to see and cool to see a team in college that has all this NHL talent on one team. So I wish Ohio State was like this, and that they could say that they have NHL talent on their team like the Minnesota Golden Gophers do.
Yeah, buddy.
So that's that. I think, yeah. So, you know what? We'll put one last video here that we'll play. On the Blue Jackets TikTok page, on the Blue Jackets, I guess we'll have to zoom out here. On the Blue Jackets TikTok page, they had a video at the game of what it was like at the game when Adam Fantilli scored the goal. So I thought this was cool, and we're going to play it. So cool video of what it was like at the Blue Jackets game when Adam Fantilli scored the goal. As you can see, very loud cheers at the game when Adam Fantilli scored the goal. So I like this sort of stuff when teams are able to do stuff like this, where they can post what it was like at the game when a goal was scored. And in this case, it was, what was it like at the Blue Jackets game when Adam Fantilli scored a goal for the Blue Jackets? So overall, pretty cool video here by the Blue Jackets TikTok page.
Pretty dope.
Anything else to say there, Hefty Duck?
No, I got much.
Okay, then. All right, so that's the end of that. So we'll say our stuff, and then, we'll get out of here. So, Hefty Duck, well, you can start off, and then I'll go with me, and then we'll get out of here.
Sure. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe wherever you're watching from. If you're watching from Twitter, we appreciate any of the reposts and follows. If you're watching from YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button. And don't forget, if you want to listen to us on audio, we are on Spotify, Apple, Google, anywhere you can find podcasts, we are there. I don't think I have much else. It's once again, like I said at the top of the show, we don't have any sponsors or anything. We do this for fun. I am the show sponsor. So if you want to get tattooed, check me out. I'm at Lance Schrock Tattoos on Instagram. I'm also at Lance_Schrock on Twitter. That's spelled SCHROCK. There's a C in there. It confuses some people. But check that shit out. We do some fun stuff. I do some Blue Jackets artwork occasionally. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm out. We'll be back here again 1 week from today at 7 p.m. So finish her off.
Okay, so as I always do, got to give a awesome shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc, the best of the best. What a guy. Life of the party, so fun to be with. Seeing you at family parties and holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter and so much more, and seeing you at family parties and birthday parties and get-togethers and so much more. You're a big hockey guy, and I love talking hockey with you. Big Blackhawks guy. But also, the Blue Jackets became your second favorite team because of me, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Doc. And I just love talking hockey with you, and I wish you're still here so I could just hang out with you and talk hockey with you and so much more, and you could share your thoughts on how you think the Blackhawks are doing, and I could share my thoughts on how I think the Blue Jackets are doing. So I wish you're still here so I could see you and talk to you and give you a nice big hug and hang out with you and talk hockey with you. So, and see you at birthday parties and family get-togethers and holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, and so much more. So, shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. I wish you're still here so I could talk hockey with you. Shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. Thank you for everything.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, Uncle Doc.
And of course, one last thing for me. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. 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 It's a fun Blue Jackets themed fan group that I run. We do a lot of fun stuff like marches. That's the best of the best, where we march on to Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets. We get a big group of Blue Jackets fans to come together to march on to Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets. It was that we did our annual march this past October for the Blue Jackets home opener. A lot of fun. Big group of people showed up. Probably about 80 people showed up. Adam King from 10 TV showed up, put us on TV. That was cool. It's a lot of fun. So if you missed our home opener march, there's going to be another one. So don't worry. So you should join us for the next time that we do a march. If the Blue Jackets make the playoffs, I'm doing a march. If not, it's going to be the home opener. So you should join us for a march. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to be with your fellow Blue Jackets fans and cheer on the Blue Jackets. And you might be on TV, so it's a lot of fun. So check that out. Join us for our marches. Stay tuned on social media for details for when the next one might be. So check that out. So one last time, check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Follow Union Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. check out Union Blue Soldiers. So that's it for me. That's it for me for now. So we'll get out of here.
Yeah, buddy. Like I said, join us again next week, Sunday, November 23rd, for our next episode. We'll be back live at 7 p.m. as usual. Until then, have a good one, and we'll